ahead and get started here, folks. Thank you for joining us today. I should say thank you for joining me today. Just me today, Matt Sabala, an annuity sales director here at IMES. But really good topic here. I think even more pertinent right now. I gotta figure out how to turn this phone down. Sorry about that. We've got an opportunity with, especially the current climate and the volatility we're seeing, to capture a lot of business for people who are looking for safety. And one of the best ways to do that is provide them a guarantee of not only principal protection, but a guarantee that their money is going to grow even in periods of high volatility, but still have plenty of opportunity to capture market upside. And so that's what we'll be talking about today with what I call our MYGA Killer and our SBLI Market Crest product. So we'll get into that. I'm going to spend just a minute, though, before we get started on that, to talk about IMES and why people like to work with us here. I should say this is going to be a unique webinar compared to ones we've done in the past on this product, because I've got a couple of concepts that I want to share with you guys that have been really effective with our producers writing this product. So stay tuned, even if you're familiar with the product, to see those concepts. I will review those, and I think they'll help you position this with your clients. So quickly, IMES has been in business now for 38 years. That is a long time. Most of the IMOs out there have not been in business nearly that amount of time. And the reason that we've had the longevity we have, and the reason that I joined IMES, coming from another IMO, is because of the excellent service and just the family atmosphere that IMES really does embody. Everybody tells you they excel with service, but when Charles Hiring founded IMES 38 years ago, he built it on a foundation of service. I mean, we just purchased a $100,000 phone system not too long ago, and we disabled the voicemail on our phone system because we want to talk to everybody as soon as they call in, get them with a live person. We don't want to have you leaving a voicemail or waiting for a call back whenever possible. We've got people who can handle any issue that comes up and try and head those off in the first place, but take care of that immediately. And so that's really something that we embody here at IMES. Another reason people like to work with us, and I started with IMES about a year and a half ago, is our new producer builders program. I call it our new producer bonus. Like I said, I started here a year and a half ago. Several of the people that I work with reached that $1 million threshold in their first 6 months contracted with us. And so we did a number of things for those people. Some of those people chose to have us put on 3 seminars for them. A number of people chose our annuity rank program, where they're meeting with people face-to-face who are looking to replace current annuity contracts. A number of people chose to just do a cash reimbursement to some marketing expenses they were already doing that were working for them. We have one of those people here on the call today. So regardless of what sort of marketing you are doing in your practice, if you get a fast start with us here at IMES, and we certainly will work with you and partner with you to help that happen, we want to continue to reinvest in your practice. And we're very malleable about the different ways that we can invest in your practice. These are just some examples. So each of those thresholds will get you reimbursement based on the premium that you get during your first 6 months contracted with us. Another thing that we're big on is referrals. If you send somebody to us that can take advantage of the resources that we provide you here at IMES, then we want to pay you for that referral. Just like you guys, a new client is almost always best when it comes from a referral. So when they get contracted with us, we'll give you $50. When they start writing business is when the real money kicks in. $100,000 annuity policy will pay you $200, just as an example. And that continues indefinitely until they or you are no longer contracted with us. I guess a better way to say that is, as long as you are contracted with us, you will continue to receive those payments. So an excellent opportunity to develop a downline without taking on the liability of an agency. But by the way, if you are interested in developing an agency, that's certainly something that we have experience in, certainly something that I personally have a lot of experience in helping build with agents, do a lot of the training. We do one-on-one Zoom calls, or group Zoom calls in a lot of cases, to bring entire teams up to speed. So if that's something you're interested in, we can help you do that. But this referral program really takes that out of the equation and just keeps it simple, where you're earning on any business that you help bring to IAMS. So I think we do three things really well. The first is back office support. Very simply, we've got a team of people to work with the carriers that you are able to place business with here at IAMS. And by the way, we work with almost everybody in the industry, but we've got people who understand the ins and outs of each of those carriers very well. If it's a large carrier, we've got several people assigned to them, typically your Athenes, your North Americans. For example, we have several people who work with those carriers and follow your business from submission to commission to, one, make sure that any obstacles that we can overcome are overcome before they become an obstacle. And then two, if we run into an issue as you're trying to process business, we try to take that off your plate. The people on the new business team do an excellent job of following up on a regular basis to keep you in front of clients, and then we're the ones sitting on hold with the carriers and taking that off your plate whenever possible. But we do a very, very good job of that. I've worked at 3 different IMOs. I haven't seen anybody do it as well. And one of the IMOs that I used to work at was kind of where everybody branched out from and started their own IMO. So I know a lot of people in the industry. I haven't seen anybody meet the level of service that our new business team offers. Our website is a pretty good website. We've got all sorts of different resources on there, everything from comparison tools to where you can do best guaranteed income quote, best life insurance quote for a specific scenario. It's all there. To information about the industry, about our training academies that we have coming up. It's all right there, just a couple of quick clicks away. If you haven't had a walkthrough of the website, please get with your annuity sales director, like me, Matt Sabala, or your life sales director, to ensure that you understand where the critical resources there are. One of them is electronic submission. If you aren't using eSubmittal, you probably are wasting time. In most cases, and I just worked with a 96-year-old agent who had never done an electronic submission before. He said it was much easier than the paper apps that he's done his entire career. So if he can do it, you can do it. It is a simpler way to process business. It allows us to provide better service to you because we'll be able to see the business as you're putting it into the system and help guide you to eliminate mistakes or mitigate mistakes. And it's processed more quickly by us and the carriers if you submit it electronically. Just a couple of clicks away on our website, and we'd be happy to help guide you through that and get you comfortable with it. But it is easier than paper submittal after you've done it once. Even the first time, it's probably easier than doing another paper app, I would say. Second thing I think we do really well is creative services. So we've got a team of people. They're in a meeting right now, I know, just talking about some new programs they're getting ready to roll out, but they do everything from business cards and stationery all the way up to getting you on the radio and Fox News if you really want to. They're very good at meeting you where you're at. They work exclusively in this corner of the industry, so they understand financial services very well. It's a lot better than going down the street and talking to what may be an excellent marketing group who does web design and things of that nature. But they don't necessarily understand compliance and the different things that you need to see on a website for an agent like you. And we do. And these people have spent dozens of years in this industry, and we do it cheaper than they do it in a lot of cases as well, because it's not a profit center for us. It's just a way that we can add credibility for you. And in the case of the creative marketing that we do, we are very good at helping you get in front of clients who are looking for the services that you provide. So our team of people really specialize in putting custom plans together for people to meet them where they're at and help take you from where you're at now to where you want to be based on the goals that you have in your practice for 2025 and beyond. So if you have never sat down with us and done a custom marketing analysis, it's something that I do with almost all the agents that I work with. And if you haven't done one in a couple of years, it might be time to redo that. But we do that free of charge, and it's all designed to help put a plan in place to help you continue to keep your sales funnel full in 2025 and beyond, and give you the credibility that you need in dealing with clients in today's online environment. The wealth management team back in 2016, 2018, people were concerned about needing a securities license to sell the products that we work with. We really leaned on them to act as a fiduciary for our advisors back then when everybody was so concerned about that, and a resource to get your 65 if you needed it. Today, that conversation came up again just recently. There are some changes that the Department of Labor is putting into place, and we've done a good job in mitigating some of those changes here at IAMS. We were one of the IMOs that was really critical in helping put a stay on those changes, and it looks like many of them may actually get thrown out, which, depending on your opinion, may be a good or a bad thing, but I think in most cases people see it as a positive thing for people in the industry. But our wealth management team, if you ever need a fiduciary, which adds credibility to you being able to close business and may be able to help get you into some conversations you may not otherwise have, they are somebody you can lean on. If you've got a client that wants to leave money in a growth bucket, you don't have your securities license, just give our wealth management team a call. We've got people that will join you on a call and help a client keep them close so they don't have to go talk to another advisor. And so you are not losing that business to the wealth manager down the street that says clients should never be in an annuity. Because I know you guys have heard that. Our wealth management team clearly understands how annuities can be a good fit within a comprehensive portfolio. And if you'd ever like to earn your Series 65, I think it will help you close larger cases in a lot of cases. And almost universally, people who have gone on to get a securities license close more annuity business as well, and life business. So if you want that as a resource, we've got it for you, whether you want to earn a license or just partner with somebody who has one. Third thing I think we do really, really well, guys, and we've got our first one coming up here in April. Still got a couple of spots. April 2nd through the 4th is our Life and Annuity Academies. We've got training from advisors who are at the top of the industry already and been successful in this space. They share with you their best practices, their sales concepts that have helped them reach that level of success, and give you some ideas for how to implement some of those strategies within your practice in a way that would be comfortable for you. I have been out to these academies. It's fantastic, one-on-one in a lot of cases, opportunities to speak with these advisors who are already so successful, and other advisors who are coming out to just get some new ideas to bring back to their practice. Great opportunity to bump elbows, share ideas, meet the IAMS team, and really grow in your understanding of what it takes to be successful in this industry. So if you'd like to join us for our Annuity Academy that we have coming up, Life and Annuity Academy, it is coming up at the beginning of April. And just let me know, please. Put a question in the chat. Send me an email, mattf@imsinc.com. Usually I have a poll for this, but we do have a couple of spots left. We would love to bring you out and have you participate in this. This is tip of the spear training. And I've been around. I understand what's available out there. It really doesn't get much better than this. And the thing that I always have a takeaway from the advisors that go out are, okay, these are some ideas that I can bring back to my practice, but I also heard about this. Can you tell me more about this? And sometimes it's just a great way to start a conversation about something they hadn't thought about, and bring some new opportunity to the table, whether that be through marketing strategies, through product concepts, positioning strategies. It's always a good event. In fact, with the product we're talking about today, one of the concepts that I'll be discussing with you came from an advisor who saw a different way to approach the product that we're talking about, and how he has been effective in positioning it. So it's great for things like that, always bringing new ideas to the table. We're big on incentive trips, guys. We are finishing up qualification for Quebec City, which is just kind of a nice laid-back environment, very high-end. Anybody who qualifies for this event will have written $5 million of annuity business or qualifying life business with us. We do certain periods where we've doubled the points, so it may not even be $5 million business, but if you've reached that point, you're going to qualify for Quebec. It'll be a great opportunity to come out, have a good time, and again, share some ideas with other people who are at the top of the industry. So we hope you can meet us out there. We will be wrapping up qualification June 30th. If you're curious about where you stand in this, be happy to help you figure that out. But we do send out regular updates, and it looks like we're going to have quite a few people out there this year. So excellent opportunity to have a good time and, again, expand on your knowledge in the industry by sharing ideas with other people at the top of the industry. So like and follow us on social media, guys. If you're not doing this for your clients, you may not think social media is important, but it is to your clients in a lot of cases. Just stay in front of them. We can automate that for you if you want to be able to do that in your practice and you don't currently have that capability. We can do it for you at very little to no charge in a lot of cases. We just want to help you be the person they think of when somebody needs financial services. So give your clients the opportunity to like and follow you on social media as well. Okay, so let's talk about why you guys are here. I got to pull up a different presentation here. Give me just a moment. Okay. SBLI Market Crest. So I call it our MYGA Killer. And you'll see why. If you're already familiar with this product, it's got a great fixed rate that is competitive with CDs. So it's a great CD alternative as well. But it also has upside, unlike any other product in the industry from an A-rated carrier. So we'll get into it here. Hold on just a second. I accidentally opened the wrong presentation the first time around, but okay, here we go. SBLI has been around since 1907, Savings Bank Life Insurance Company of Massachusetts. There are two Savings Bank life insurance companies. This one is of Massachusetts. They are the straight A-rated carrier that's been around since the dawn of time. Since AM Best issued their first ratings of insurance companies, SBLI has been A-rated, and they've maintained that the whole time. I don't think anybody else can say that. So extremely strong company that really has a background in the high-end life insurance. But they've been branching out into annuities recently, and we're excited to talk about Market Crest with you guys here today. So AM Best, like I said, straight A-rated, lots of assets. I'm not going to go too in-depth with that, but I've got excellent financial pieces if you guys are curious about that. So let's talk about Market Crest, guys. This has been a unique product in the industry since it launched. There are a couple out there that have tried to duplicate this now, but not with A-rated carriers. This is the strongest carrier, and I think the strongest product for a couple of reasons. That's built on a chassis like this. So the 5-year product has been the most popular, and I'm going to use it for examples in what we'll be talking about today. But there is a 3, 5, and a 7-year version of this product. Each of them has a floor that your client will receive in interest earned. So the 5-year is 4%. It's 4% compounding for the 5 years. That's the worst your client can do. So with FIAs in general, 0 is your hero. Not anymore. 4% is your hero with this product. But you're still going to get 60% of the participation of the S&P 500 and have that 4% guarantee for your client. The 3 and the 7-year are just a little bit different there, but really, really good opportunities. Actually, when we illustrate this, looking at the last 10 years, the 3-year performs the best out of any of them, and hardly ever does the fixed interest floor come into play. That's really a guarantee for your clients, but in most cases, the upside on the participation in the S&P 500 is going to far outpace that. In fact, if you look at the last 5 years of history, which include the COVID years, you had a big downturn in equity markets, in the S&P definitely, right at the beginning of that 5 years. But still, there isn't a point in time that we can find by just using the first day of each month over the last 5 years where the fixed rate has been what the client gets. The S&P participation is always going to outpace that, and the returns have been fantastic. We'll talk about that here in a second. So how does it work? You get the 4% fixed rate, or you get the 60% participation rate, whichever is better. You don't get both. So I want to make one thing clear. It is a 5-year snapshot when you're looking at this product. You don't get 4% 1 year because the S&P is down, and then 60% of the S&P the next year. You look at the 5 years, whichever did better over that time, either 4% compounding or 60% of the S&P 500 over that time is what your client will get, almost without exception. The S&P is the better option here. If you look at the last 40 years of history, it's really only 2 periods of time, the 2007, 2008, and one other period that have been better to get a fixed rate, using the 5-year product as an example. The rest of the time, the participation on the S&P 500 is going to get your client a better deal. Those rates are locked, so they're not going to move when they're in a contract. This is a MYGA, technically. It's filed on a MYGA chassis, so if you are a securities licensed professional and you work with a broker-dealer, almost certainly this product will either be considered an outside business activity or it'll be approved by your broker-dealer. I haven't run into a BD that will not accept this product yet. So it's been very popular in the registered rep space also. I'm not going to go too into detail here, guys. The bottom line is interest is going to be credited on an annual basis at 4%, but you do get the 60% participation on the S&P 500. I think that's at 50. That was an old slide. I apologize, before we increase rates on this. You get 4% or 60% of the participation in the S&P 500. So I'm going to skip this slide because it's not real intuitive. This is pretty helpful. So looking at the last 10 years of history, there are some dates. They're hard to find, but there are some dates in there where you might actually get the floor rather than the participation rate. When we look at every single date over the last 10 years, but 99.4% of the time with the 5-year product, you end up much better off utilizing the 60% participation on the S&P 500. In fact, if you look at the average return over the last 3 years, this product would have returned 7.9%, 7.7% over the last 5 years, and 8.6% over the last 7, using those participation rates that we see there. Looking at the last 20, last 30 years, you've got 2008 in there, so that the data doesn't look quite as good, but it does take a major downturn usually to have that floor kick in, but it's still giving your clients a return when equities are going the other way, so it's a great option. So where we see this as a fit is people looking for a guaranteed rate, something similar to what a CD provides. If you looked at rates three years ago, a 4% CD would have been out of this world. You wouldn't have been able to find it. A 4% fixed rate would have been better than most MYGAs out there at that time. So really a good story with that 4% fixed rate. You've got different lengths of contracts, 3, 5, and 7 year. A strong company, and it's a very simple product if you position it correctly. The simplicity of it is fantastic. I see it positioned as two primary, in 2 ways, and we'll get into more detail here, but either as a MYGA alternative for those of you selling MYGAs, because it'll still provide a strong fixed rate similar to MYGAs, but it's going to give you much more upside, or as a CD hybrid product. I told you I was going to tell you about how one of the producers who came out to our training academy was positioning. He was calling it a CD hybrid product, and really can be described as that, because you're getting a rate similar to a CD, but you've got much more potential. So why leave your money in the bank earning, 4.5% at the very top right now, when you can still get that 4%, but in a much more likely scenario is you're going to do much better on that money. So offers much better returns to clients. So some of the key highlights: it's a $10,000 minimum for qualified money, $25,000 for non-qualified. We've seen cases go over the million mark. That there's not much they won't take at SBLI as far as maximum premium, and I've even seen exceptions be made on minimum premium. So it issues up to age 90, non-qualified 85 on qualified money. It's RMD friendly. So a lot of people ask that question. RMD friendly. This contract allows for 5% free withdrawals. I will point out, if you do utilize that 5% free withdrawal, and it's not an RMD. RMDs don't impact the earning potential of this product, but if you utilize the free withdrawals, you lose the upside of the S&P 500. You just be getting the fixed rate. So it's really a product designed for somebody to either just sit in it and earn some money for a couple of years, 3, 5, or 7 years, or for somebody who has a qualified account that they want to earn on and take RMDs. Either way, you will get that S&P upside potential, and the downside of having the fixed rate is still going to be there. Obviously, I said that kind of wrong, but I think you understood what I'm saying. You'll still have the fixed rate floor, but the upside potential on the S&P 500. But if you use your free withdrawals, you lose that upside potential. So there, you see the surrender charges there. They are very similar to most MYGAs that you find out there. This is an older state map. I will tell you, this is available now everywhere except New York and Utah for whatever reason. Thanks, Utah. But it's even available in California. The only state variations that really matter are in California. California, the fixed rates are the same as you see on the rate sheet that I showed earlier, but the participation rates, instead of 60% on the 5-year, are 5% lower. So 55% on the 5-year, and on the 3 and the 7 years, same story, same fixed rate, 5% lower on the participation rates. So we've got some sample illustrations built in here. I'm not going to go too much into detail. If you'd like me to run an illustration for a client of yours, happy to do it. But I am going to show you some tools that I think are even more useful when you're selling than the illustration piece. So if you would like contracted with SBLI, please let me know. I am happy to get that out to you. So actually, let me ask that question. I'm going to go into more detail on this and share with you guys some sales concepts here. But you can email me. You can respond to this poll. You can call me, and I will get contracting out to you for SBLI. It is specific to this product. So if you're already contracted with SBLI, but you're not for this product, you're not contracted to sell this product. So be happy to get that out to you guys if you need it. All right, let me close this poll here. We got disclosures. I guess I ought to leave this up on the screen for a second. SBLI wants me to include that. You can pause it on the YouTube video that we'll put out here in a little bit if you really want to read through that. Okay, let me share with you what I think the most useful thing about this presentation is, which is going to be, find it here, this. All right. So we had our Ascend meeting back in January, kind of our annual kickoff, and I talked about this product, went through some of the same information. This is a useful piece. This is available to all of you guys. This looks at the first quarterly dates of each of the last 10 years, looking at a 5-year product as the example here. The gray line represents the 4% fixed rate. So if you look at just the quarterly start dates for each of the last 10 years, each quarter of the last 10 years, never in that scenario did the 4% ever kick in. And in fact, if you look at a 5% return, which is represented by the blue line here, and 5% is a pretty good MYGA right now from an A-rated carrier, this product outpaced a 5-year MYGA 95% of the time. over the last 10 years. The green line is the median annualized return over the last 10 years, 7.7%. So I don't know where you can get a MYGA or a product that's giving you a 4% floor for your client, a very strong guarantee, and get a return that averaged that. There were some home runs too. When we look at the last 5 years, there were a lot of cases in which a client would have earned over 10% in this product. So some real opportunity here for upside. But I think this tells the story right here. Never did the 4% even kick in. It's going to be a MYGA 95% of the time, and very, very solid returns with principal protection and a strong guarantee. So here are some sales ideas for you guys. Number one, with the split ticket. I'm not going to show you numbers on this, but here's the concept for you. You write an FIA. One of the most common FIAs to write right now is like the Performance Elite 10 with Athene, number one accumulation product in the industry. Most producers will allocate a component of that product into the S&P 500. Why would you do that? The S&P 500 on that product right now gives you a 6.5% cap, and it's likely to move once you get into a contract. The pricing on that index is expensive. It's the most expensive out of any index, but everybody, for the most part, uses it to allocate because it's a familiar story to clients, and they know there's some good opportunity for return on the S&P 500, just generally speaking. So it'll give, at least something to your client over the 10 years. But here's the idea on a split ticket. Take what you would allocate in the S&P 500, write two products, put that component of that FIA into the SPLI market crest, and then be more aggressive with your volatility controlled indices or your equities based indices in the Performance Elite 10. Give your client more upside there by using the NASDAQ, by using the S&P 500 FC on that product, and still give your client a guarantee that on the component that you're going to put in the S&P 500 on that cap strategy, you're putting it into this product. And it does not only provide a good guarantee for your client with strong upside on that component of the money, but it gives them liquidity at the 5-year mark or at whatever term you use in SPLI market crest. And that sets you up for a comfortable review with your client at the 3, 5, or 7-year mark. Gives them liquidity, gives you an opportunity to sell this product again because it's almost undoubtedly going to done well for you. At worst case, you're going to have gotten them a 4% return, and then you're going to be selling on a larger pool of money there as well, and you have an opportunity to earn another commission. So a really good idea with the split ticket. Free income is something I want to show you guys. So this has been successful with people who have come to me and said, my client has X amount of dollars. They don't know what they want to do with it. They need income for retirement, but they're not sure where they're going to pull that from yet. And we just want to take a look at possible opportunities. So yeah, we could dump it all into an income product, guarantee their expenses in their retirement, or we could do this. We could take $1 million in this case, and what I figured out based on, this was back in January, but rates are very similar today. Based on the current best income product for guaranteed income and using immediate income, you could provide a $23,000 a year income to that client, and at the end of a 5-year term, be back at $1 million in principal for your client. So basically, you're just going to find $23,000 a year for the rest of their life out of thin air. And that is a concept that many of our producers have used to great success. By investing in this example, about $290,000 in the SPLI market, or excuse me, $708,500 in the SPLI market crest, and about $280,000 and $90,000 into an FIA, at the end of the contract period, the SBLI market crest, just based on the last 10 years of history, if it returns about 7.14%, which was the compounding averaged rate over the last 10 years in that product, then they would be back up to their original principal amount, and they've got that $291,000 that they put into an FIA to provide that guaranteed income that now is basically free income for that client. At the end of the 5 years, they're back to their original principal, and you're giving them $25,710 per year of lifetime income. And I apologize. Up top, I said $23,000 a year. I forgot to change a number in this because I gave this presentation twice, and one time rates were a little higher. I made a mistake by not changing that. But whether it's $23,000 or $25,000, we just base it off of today's current rates. I think right now it'd probably be right in the middle of that. But the basic idea is you're going to be able to generate free income for them and get back to the original principal by putting most of that money that they've got set aside into the market crest and then putting the rest into a guaranteed income product, and you've got your free income story. Been really effective for people. That was an idea that one of our producers came up with. So keep in mind, again, we take ideas like that from people who have had effect using them. Looking at last 10 years, so we showed earlier a median annualized return. The actual compounding return over the last, it breaks it down into 2 5-year periods here. Over the last 5 years would have been 8.09%, and that's January 1st through December 31st of in this case, it would have been 2020 through 2024. And the previous period, previous 5-year period was 6.19%. So the other concept that people are having a lot of success with is in the CD hybrid concept, like I talked to you guys about earlier. So agents have found a lot of success positioning this as, you're going to get similar returns on this guaranteed to what your CD is providing you, but you've got a lot more upside. And they're showing them that dot chart. Here's what it did at each period of history over the last 10 years. And in a lot of cases, this has sold itself. So a real simple concept for people because it's relatable in terms of a CD. If you got somebody that doesn't need their money within the next 18 months, they really shouldn't be in a CD. They should be in a MYGA. And if they're going to buy a MYGA, they should buy this instead because it's a better product. I mean, unless they just need a strict guarantee and they want to earn, 5.35% on their MYGA and draw interest off of that and just maintain principal, this is a better product for most people. So just to drive this point home again, I mean, this is pretty easy for people to understand typically. If you're starting with, sorry, let me back up. If you've got a client who's looking at a CD, this is going to outperform a CD. I wish we had a line on here that we could generate that shows, the best CD that you can find in your community at any given time and show how this compares to that. But if you got a CD client, this is a pretty easy and effective story to tell with this dot chart. That is available to you also. So if you would like the marketing materials for this product, I will send those out to everybody that's in attendance today. So the NAIC model, best 10-year period over the last 20 years, worst 10-year period, you see them right there. So worst 10-year period definitely is that 2007-2008 period where the floor would kick in on this product. But in most cases, you're going to do much, much better than that. So again, I'm Matt Sabala. I really have spearheaded this project here at IMES among the sales directors. You can email me. You can call me at 800-255-5055, just our normal line, or you can text me. That's actually my cell number. If you've ever got questions and I'm difficult to get a hold of, or you just want to find a time to talk, text me. I'm happy to get in touch with you that way. Most people don't like to give their cell phone number out, but I use it for texting all the time just to be efficient with communications with the agents that I'm working with. So guys, that is it as far as my presentation is concerned. But I am going to take a look at questions now. So let me pull that up and we'll talk through any questions that people have. Okay, so got a couple of questions. Jim, I apologize if my screen wasn't formatted correctly. Sometimes it shows up differently for different people. But commissions, let's talk about that real quick. Commissions on this are similar to a MYGA, but better than most MYGAs. So people hear commissions and they get turned off by it, but hear me out here for a second, because it's better than a lot of people think first hearing it. So the 5-year product gets you 3%. The 7-year product gets you 3% for street commission up to age 75. And the 3-year product gets you 1.5%. So the 5-year product, let's just use that as an example because that's what we've been using. If you sell it on $100,000 and your alternatives are, okay, I can sell the 5-year SBLI product to a client and position that, or I can, position a 10-year FIA and probably sell that. Well, a lot of people go with the higher commission, and I understand why. But when you think about it, with this SBLI product, it really gives you an opportunity to deliver on promises and build a relationship with the client. And then at the end of the 5 years, the product is likely going to have grown to a point to where you're going to have an opportunity to sell it again, and you're going to be selling on a larger pool of assets at that point. And it needs to average just over 5% over the 5-year term, to where you're actually earning more by selling this product once at the 5-year mark and once the first time you sold it, to where it's going to earn you more than an average 10-year FIA will right now. So if you are able to sell it twice, and most people do purchase a product like this twice, whether it be a MYGA or a product like this, you will actually make more on this than an FIA sale. But also you're building that client relationship, you're delivering on promises, and you're setting yourself up for positive reviews to maybe uncover more assets. So really, if I had the opportunity to sell a 10-year FIA or this, unless I was just strapped for cash and, I could provide a good solution with the 10-year product and I needed that higher commission right then, I would actually sell this product. And in fact, that's what I'm finding with a lot of producers that I work with, is that they like the idea of those comfortable review meetings and actually making more on the sale when they go to sell it again. And it gives them an opportunity to build trust, like I said, and uncover more assets. Other questions. What FIA are you putting $291,000 and generating $25,000 in annual income? So I think when I ran that in January, I was using, because we're product agnostic here. I mean, I look at everybody. But I think at the time I was using F&G's safe income product. Right now, if you're interested in that, Leon, I can actually take a look and see very quickly who the top in the industry would be for immediate income on $291,000. And I can even do that before this presentation is over, because it'll only take me a second. But we can figure out just who provides the best guaranteed income based on the client's age. And I think I was basing that on a 70-year-old, I think is what I looked at. So it's also going to be based on age and what state they're in, because some products aren't available in every state. But at the time, I know it was the F&G Safe Income product. All right. So I think those are the questions that we had. If anybody else has any questions, I'll give you just a minute to ask them, but I will get out, for anybody that's in attendance, I'll get out the marketing materials on this product if you'd like to be contracted. Again, my email, matt.s@imsinc.com. You know how to get a hold of me with the 800 number here, 800-255-5055, or you can text me at 785-289-85 So I don't see any other questions coming in, guys. I appreciate your time today, and I will be in touch with the information that we talked about. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next webinar. Tomorrow, by the way, we have a good webinar on Journey Guide. I'm doing that one too. So if you're looking for a good CRM system to help you deliver some very nice looking customer-facing client profiles and analytics to your clients and help you position annuity products, that's a good one to attend. So thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you next time.